What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Bringing It to the Ring podcast with myself, Wolf, and Willie. Coming to you guys together with another episode today. It's going to be a very interesting one because I know usually we're talking about one topic and then that's about it. But today we're doing two different things. We're doing ranking all the current title designs from worst to best, and we will also be predicting WrestleMania 41 predictions. So we will be doing night one and night two in this episode as well. So it's going to be a long episode. So if you guys get your popcorn ready, because it's going to be a long one. But how are you guys feeling today? I mean, wrestling has been kind of very interesting this week, from WWE to AEW, and the week that we're about to have coming up. I mean, AEW's on the collision course for Full Gear, and WWE's on the collision course for Crown Jewel next Saturday. You guys.
Yep.
Crown Jewel's not looking all too interesting, in my opinion. AEW, very interesting what they're doing with character work with John Moxley. And of course, last night we had the infamous Chris Jericho winning the Ring of Honor World Championship. Not a lot of people like it, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's a bit of a wild ride. We're getting the bloodline reuniting. So,
Potentially, yeah. Especially with
yeah,
Jay losing the
eventually,
title.
slowly but surely. But
Yeah.
it's a decent week, decent time to be a wrestling fan, if you ask me.
And we do have some gems, even for Crown Jewel not looking like too exciting. We still have a match like Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed, which
Yeah.
I'm very excited for. A match we should have gotten earlier in the year, but Bronson unfortunately got, I think, injured or COVID or
Yeah,
something.
he got COVID, and that's
Yeah.
why the
Yeah,
match got
COVID.
postponed a little bit. Um, but yeah, then we've been seeing the stuff that's been kind of transpiring on Twitter or social media post Monday Night Raw after Jey Uso lost the Intercontinental Championship has sparked an outrage in the wrestling community for sure. I understand a lot of people might be upset about the decision. I was upset myself, but at the same time, you got to look at it from a different standpoint. That's the reason why he lost it, because that's the way they're going to get him back into the bloodline story. A lot of people think, oh, what was the point? I get everybody's upset, but you guys, at the same time, you got to look at it from a different standpoint. You guys, it's wrestling. It's not that serious. I know people have been saying some wild things on Twitter, and me and Wolf and Will, we were just talking about it just before we went live. People just, I don't know. People just take things too seriously. Am
Yep.
I the only one that feels that way?
They
Like,
want jobs. They want media passes. That's it.
apparently, like, people
So
just take it
true.
too seriously. Like, you have to understand that these people still have lives at the end of the day, and you guys are just,
They got kids to feed.
in the words of Heath Slater, I got kids.
I got kids. I need this job.
I wish I bought that show when they were selling that on WWE Shop. But we're gonna get into it with the first half of the podcast, which will be ranking these title designs. We have numerous title designs from present and past as well, so we're gonna get into it with the Globed Intercontinental Championship. Before we get into it, the different tiers, as you guys can see, are goated, great, mid, bad, and the worst of them all. Who created this?
Hmm.
Um, so where would you guys rank the old Intercontinental Championship from the Ruthless Aggression era?
Uh, I'd put it on great. To be quite honest,
Yeah,
I loved that design.
yeah, and especially with the current title, it kind of gives an homage to that.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm the only one that
it
feels
looked
that way.
great.
Yeah, and like, and I think when you look at the Intercontinental Championship of old, you think of people like holding it like from The Rock and Stone Cold. You've seen people with these with Intercontinental Championship, and even Triple H, even and Booker T and Chris Jericho and Jeff Hardy. I think are just some of the names that come to mind when you think of this current of that design of the IC title. But Willie, you said it's going to be in great. Wolf, do you think this is a deserves to be in great, or do you think it should be moved?
Um, I mean, I don't have much of a connection to this design, so It looks all right, I guess. I haven't seen this design that much, so yeah, I say it's fine.
I think it's
Wasn't this
more of a
like
nostalgia, a
yeah,
Yeah,
nostalgia
it's a
little
nostalgia.
it's
I
thing.
think
nostalgia
I
basically the
think
way
some of
it.
the nostalgia ones might come out as biased for a lot of people that come across this, but you can't beat that. I mean,
Like
the
I
next
don't know, I might put in like good or something, but
so the next title we're going to talk about is the World Tag Team titles. These were the old ones, not the other ones, but
Hmm.
these old ones here. I like the gold, but the silver kind of throws it off for me. Like they're
Yeah.
not bad, but they're not good either.
And the red world kind of makes it a little more for me.
Yeah, it makes it
I'd,
look more toyish for me.
yeah, I'd put it under mid to be quite honest. Like
Yeah,
it's not bad, but
honestly,
it's not good.
yeah,
I
I'd,
would put it
I'd
in
say mid.
bad. I would say it's
Bad?
bad,
Bad.
but you guys can persuade me to put it in mid. But for
I
me, it's
don't
bad. It's not god awful, but it's not good,
Mm-hmm.
know.
and it doesn't really scream middle of the road for me. I mean, yeah, I can see it, but at the same time, considering that there's other titles here, I just don't think the comparison will make a lot of sense for me. But if you guys want to put it in
Yeah.
mid, we will put it in mid for now, and then maybe revisit it
I'd
later
keep it.
on.
I'd keep it in mid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one's another nostalgia one. The Spinner WWE Championship, the one that was introduced by John Cena. This one, I mean, people hate on this one, but I liked it just for
Who
nostalgia
created
purposes.
this?
You want to put it in who created this?
I'm
Yes.
sorry. I
Yes.
know it's nostalgia bait because it's
It
been there for
sucks.
so long, and people like Punk, Miz, and Triple H, and Jeff
Yeah,
Hardy, and
I
all
can
them had
understand
it.
that.
But it's like why they chose to keep it there for so long. It looks so unappealing. The WWE champ, like this should have
Yeah.
been a
I
title
feel like
that
the
only
John
John
had.
Cena should have had, or John Cena and Edge when Edge, custom made it, and that
Yeah,
was it.
that was cool,
And
and
the
I
It
thing
made
think
it
is,
really
even
hard.
Edge hated it. Like when Edge had it, he
Yeah.
hated his version of the spinner
and I
belt that he
think the
wore.
thing is, you look at a lot of wrestlers, and it's like as we get into these other titles, like it only looks good on certain wrestlers. It doesn't look good on everybody. Like, could you imagine like the Undertaker holding that belt if you would have won the WWE
No,
Championship? Like, no, like
You would
I
no.
you
But
wouldn't
would
we
want to
have
throw
imagine
Undertaker
that.
hold it. I
it.
mean, and then people did add their own spin on it. I know we seen Edge hold it and at the R, which was very cool, even though he didn't like the design. We did see Miz kind of make some type of altercation
Made it like an
for it
M.
with the M, and stuff like that. But outside of it, it didn't really. And like The Rock even said, a title should never spin, and he made one,
No,
and it was true.
the
Now,
reason why
would I say who?
JBL hated on spinner belts all that much. It's
I was
not
gonna put it in
appealing.
bad, but you guys convinced me to put it in who created this.
Who created this? Like
I
it's
know this is. I'm
nostalgia.
pretty sure. Yeah, it's nostalgia, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna come across this, and this is gonna probably stir up some controversy in the comment
They're
section
gonna
because
be
people.
pissed, but they're only gonna be pissed because so many people had it and so many like good reigns came from this version, but it
I'm gonna be real with y'all. This belt, when it comes to this belt specifically, I hardly remember who has it other than John Cena or Edge. Those are the
CM
only two
Punk,
people.
Do you
Jeff
And
remember when
Hardy,
yeah,
Alberto Del
Triple
Rio held this
H,
title? Like
Alberto Del Rio held it.
Cena, Edge, Punk. That's like the only three
Punk,
people
yeah,
I.
he held
The
this.
Rock was like the
Batista held
last
it.
person to win it, and then he
Batista
changed the
held it.
design. Um,
Thank God.
Randy, he was good with the title.
Randy had a couple reigns with that.
Triple H, I know had a couple of reigns
Yeah,
as well.
Triple H,
Jeff Hardy, I mean, for that little stint,
Rey
that was longer.
Mysterio for about 11 minutes.
And they took it right back from him. He
They
didn't get a
took it
relaxed reign.
away instantly. Yeah, I think that's about it, mainly.
Yeah, so this title is gonna go and who created this. The next title that we're gonna be talking about is the SmackDown Women's Championship that was introduced in 2016 and was retired last year. Um, the last person to hold this championship was Rhea Ripley. Um, I didn't like. Okay, I I never really liked the design, but I did always prefer this one over the red one, which we'll talk about later on. Just because the blue and the white kind of the contrast of the colors looked better than it did for the women's on Raw,
Yeah,
but it still wasn't like oh, it wasn't legendary, it wasn't goated, or it wasn't good. For me, I would even put it in mid. I would put it in mid, but I might just put it in bad.
I my thing is
Like
with
this belt.
when we had the era of every single belt was a redesign of the current
Yeah.
WWE championship, that's when I was like, okay, well, this is not fun. I get it. You all want the big W because it's WWE. But if you can't make unique designs to really make the championship pop, then fucking fire whoever designs your titles. Like I get it, SmackDown women's has a white strap, and then
It was a
SmackDown has the
branding thing,
blue.
I think,
It was a branding thing, but
but it
it's
didn't
like
need to happen.
it didn't need it. It didn't need it at all. You should have had something more unique.
I
So
would
yeah,
agree.
I'd keep it in bad. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was bad. The next
Damn.
title, what you were gonna about to say, Wolf? I'm pretty sure you were gonna say
I
bad
mean,
too.
I personally like the women's titles of the branded.
That's a
Honestly,
first.
actually, I'm like okay. I was like okay with like kind of all the branded belts.
Even the
Um,
Universal.
Universal, hell no.
Probably Universal was
Heck
like my
no.
least favorite.
Universal is
No.
Oh
bad.
yeah, Universal is my least favorite probably. At least the blue one, even though the blue one had some good champions.
The blue
Red
one was the blue one I preferred over the red one.
Yeah, the
I don't
red
know.
one just
The red one popped more.
it went from a raspberry belt to a blueberry belt. That's pretty much what happened. They were
Yeah.
going through they were going through
But no,
improvements to the
honestly,
titles.
I thought the women's belts were like the best of the branded um belts.
I would
So like
agree.
I would have probably said mid personally, but especially probably the SmackDown one because like you said, Leo, the SmackDown one does kind of look better than the Raw one. Um,
Pretty much, yeah.
so
The
I would
next
have probably said mid, but I don't think it matters.
the next title, the Divas Championship. Can we all agree on this when this goes into the bottom of the barrel for
Who
us?
created this?
Mm,
Like you made a butterfly.
Butterfly belt
it's a
because
unique title,
What?
but
it's unique, but it's bad.
it's not
It,
necessary.
a Divas Championship with the butterfly. This ain't Playboy.
It'd be worse if they had a bunny on it.
Yo, I can
Ain't
see
no way.
somebody having that type of title that's in a Playboy magazine and posting with this on the front cover. I can see this. From
Wouldn't be
one bad
surprised if that
title,
did happen.
shoot. I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably wouldn't have bought the magazine. I would have known that for a fact. But from one title to another, the ECW title, the
Hmm.
last one, this one I did not like. It just didn't have any color. It was just black and silver. I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
it didn't scream extreme. I wouldn't put it on who created this. I just
I'd
put it
say
in
bad.
bad.
Yeah,
I thought
Okay.
it was all right, but
it was fine, but
it
I
was
didn't.
fine, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, pretty much.
The next title, the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this one isn't the updated one, but this is the one that Gunther was holding. Um, I think it was always missing color. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really was a fan of this title up until currently because they added color. It now don't get me wrong, it wasn't the worst title, but it just didn't do it for me. It really didn't. I
I
like the matches for it, but the design itself just it
I
wasn't all there
mean,
for
I
me.
liked the design. Like, I was like all right with the design. Um, See, if this was um the updated version, I would probably put it at
I would put
minimum
that at
great
I'd
yeah, I
put
if
would
it
put
at
I'd
that.
vote
great,
it.
but for me, I'd
Um,
This
put it
one,
in mid. I'd put
this
it
one
in
goes
mid.
yeah,
in
I'd
mid.
put this one in mid. This I think is mid.
The next title, the
Ah, the penny
24/7 title.
title.
Who created
This
this?
is the Leprechaun title. This is the type of title that you get on St. Patrick's Day because it's just
Oh
green
my
and
god.
gold.
This is the gay gift you get to a wrestling fan.
This was the championship that literally everyone on the roster held.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean,
Especially our truth. Our truth
our
was
truth
like
held it
the
for
guy that
47 times, I believe. And then I think
50, 53, 54. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
our
and then I
truth
think
is
the second longest reign or reigns
Dana,
it
time.
Dana,
could have been just the our
Who?
truth though.
Dana Brooke or Akira Tozawa had the second.
Dana, I think Dana did because I think she held it for
Yeah,
15 times.
15 times Akira Tozawa, 11. Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
So this is I didn't like I liked what it did just for the comedic aspect, just cause I
But they only
laughed
did
a lot.
that for like so long. They did that for the first like
Remember
couple of
when Bad
months.
Bunny was a champion?
Yeah, Bad
Oh,
Bunny
yeah.
held this. We had Rob
And he
Gronkowski win
traded it
this,
with our truth for like some Stone Cold merch
and then we had
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski win it. But
and
the
held
title
it for like so
design,
long.
the design,
Trash.
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 Terrible.
and this is a more updated version of the World Tag Team titles, which we just talked about right here. This one I actually liked a little bit more.
I see no difference.
Well, this one right here has more silver. This one just has more gold.
Mm.
Yeah, this one's all right.
I'm still gonna put it like,
I'd say probably still
you
mid
know
though.
what? I'm
Yeah.
gonna move this one right here. I know we put it in mid, but I'm gonna move it down to bad just for the simple fact that this one is
Yeah.
better,
Yeah, that's
but
better.
it's still mid.
That's a good one, yeah.
Now these right here, I
Oh,
actually
I
like
love those ones. I love those World
Um,
Tag Team titles.
these World Tag Team titles. The first person that come across to my mind is when we had Jericho hold these titles. Show Miz held these titles. DX
Yes.
held them. Later
yeah, put that in
RKO.
goaded.
These is goaded, bro. Like
Goaded.
I when they were
Goated
bringing
easy.
back the, I thought they were really gonna do this with the current titles that we have on Raw right now, but they didn't do it. I don't know why. I thought we were
I
gonna
don't
get a
know either.
design that resembled it, but unfortunately, that just was not the case. Um,
Didn't the SmackDown ones get that
The
instead?
SmackDown ones kind of resemble
just without the blue,
the
but
next ones.
these I gotta put in goaded.
Yeah, they're good. I
Those
love
are
those
like my
ones too.
Those
favorite
are really
ones.
good, yeah.
The team
Um,
Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit held those ones. Love those
exactly.
ones.
Then we had
Yeah.
Batista and Rey Mysterio hold these titles too.
Yeah, that's right. They did.
Uh, and I remember one of my favorite tag team champions. This is not one that many people remember. Deuce and Domino. You
Mm.
guys, if you remember Deuce and Domino, if you guys remember watching SmackDown back in the day, they were holding these titles, and I loved it. The entrance was cool. Them coming out on the lowrider too, I loved it. Um, the OG NXT Championship, the one that they introduced back in 2012. Um,
Mm.
I'm gonna be real. I hate this title.
I didn't like I didn't like
This
that
one
one.
is probably like the worst
I
NXT
mean, I
title.
remember it came off as a weight belt. It just like remember Finn Balor holding this title and it covered up most of his abdomen. Like,
Yeah,
come
it's like the
on.
big X on it.
Yeah,
Just
this was
is
the big
not
X.
appealing.
Now, granted, they kept the big X, but they kind of minimized it to where it didn't look like this and kind of made it work. But this one, it just didn't do it for me. I'm
It
gonna
was
put this one in
huge.
bad. It's
Yeah.
not gonna. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. The OG NXT tag team titles. Um,
They weren't good either.
they got a lot of the OG titles got better over time. I'll put it like
Yeah.
Yeah, the OG.
Sorry about that. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
that. Okay.
All good. The OG NXT tag team titles. I mean, they're all right. I felt like there was like a lot more space on these ones, a lot more empty space.
Yeah, it
Um,
was. Look at the right side. Like
yeah, the right side it was like all yellow and all that shit. I
I'm
would
gonna put
put
these in bad too,
I'd put these in bad too. Yeah, to be quite honest. They didn't look very
because
appealing. Like I know, like the Revival had these, and American
DIY
Alpha,
held them.
DIY especially. I think
The
AOP were the last
Vaudevillains,
one.
even the Ascension held these tag
The
titles.
Ascension held them for almost a year with that
And who else? I
design.
remember holding. Kalisto and
Uh,
Sin Cara won them.
Blake and Murphy, um, Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've a lot of
Didn't
good teams, but the design.
Corey Graves I think even won too.
Corey Graves and Neville.
Neville or Pac. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
surprising that they won them, and that was like
I
early
was
on in
shocked.
NXT.
I completely forgot he was a champion.
The next title, the WWF title.
The WWF, yeah, it's got to be goaded, man.
This one was like one of my favorite ones. You remember? I remember seeing Triple H hold it. I remember seeing Stone Cold and The Rock, and I remember even
Jericho.
Jericho when he won it in one night. That was a cool moment as well. Um, Definitely one of the better WWE Championship designs that they have created, like of all time, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
Like,
think the
um,
wing. I think like personally, as for the best ones, it would have to go to the winged eagle. But this one
yeah,
is definitely like one of the better ones as well.
I would
In
agree.
terms of design.
The next title, the current women's championship on Raw, the women's world championship. Now, I actually like the design. I actually like the white strap. It's a definitely upgrade of what we used to have, for sure. And they make it
Yeah,
look way more prestigious and important, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's not
Like,
too bad. I put it under
I wouldn't
great.
even put these in mid. I'll put these in great.
Yeah, and I'd put. You technically have to do that for the men's world championship too, because it's
Which we'll
basically the
get
same
to.
thing.
Hey, we'll put it right there. We'll put them
Just
right
put it right
there.
there too. Basically the same
The
thing.
The
NXT.
NXT. We have different versions of the NXT championship. So we have the 2.0 championship for NXT. The
Hmm.
colors just I never got behind it.
The colors threw me off. Like the white. Like I understand why they put the colors because the white it would definitely be like, well, that's technically the NXT Women's Championship. But yeah, the colors it didn't scream prestigious to me. It just screamed like, hey, NXT 2.0 is colors now. We're gonna put them on there. I understand because Braun Breaker had that belt for the longest time, but
Carmelo, I think, held it.
you also had Mello, you also had Dragonoff, and
Trick.
especially for someone like Dragonoff holding that belt, it's just like no, that's not something that a man like Dragonoff should go for.
And then
Um,
you had Trick hold it, and then Ethan Page was the last to hold it.
and
Um,
then they made it the little global one that we have now.
yeah,
So
which is I'm still trying to come around to it.
it's gonna grow on me, but it's not bad, but it's not good. For this NXT championship though, I would put it under mid.
In mid,
Yeah,
okay. The NXT North American Championship. Now, I
I
actually love
loved
this one
this.
so much.
I love
This
this
one's got to.
championship so much.
I'm putting this in goaded. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you're gonna put it in goaded? Yeah, honestly, I
It's
can't disagree
literally
with you.
one of the best titles in NXT, and honestly, I would make the argument that this is one of the best titles in all of WWE.
For right now, yeah, what Obafemi did with that championship, especially, he
He
made that
made
shit
like
prestigious.
and it's crazy what people say about this title. It's the black man's championship because a lot of African Americans have held this championship. We seen well, even though we don't like to talk about him, Velveteen Dream, he held this championship. Obafemi held it. Ricochet held it. I
Trick,
mean, Trick, Mello,
Wesley,
Swerve,
Swerve, yeah, I completely forgot about Swerve.
he
Swerve even
held
held
it.
that.
I think even you can consider Bronson Reed. I think he's got to be
I don't know if he has a percentage of that, but he was still a decent champion
and then
either way.
and Johnny, no, I mean no, but Johnny was a great one. Even what's his
Priest,
name? Priest held it. What's his name that used to be in
Adam
NXT, but they
Cole,
released him?
baby.
What's his name? He used to be in NXT, but they released him in the pandemic. The one that
Um,
beat Gargano for it. He was a
Leon Ruff,
jobber. Yes, and they had him
Leon
win
Ruff.
it. The most surprising title win of all time.
I was
I'm
so fucking shocked when he won
like,
that.
I remember, I'm like, are they trolling us right now? And they actually made him a champion. And it's crazy. People look back on this, like people was arguing. They was like, so you give Leah Ron Ruff a title, but you couldn't give James Ellsworth a title. What you were gonna do? You gonna give James Ellsworth the WWE championship? No.
You just lose it back to AJ Styles a week later.
Or he probably would have lost it to Ambrose because they were all feuding at the time.
Yeah, it could have been Ambrose.
The next title, this one is way better. The
Yeah,
NXT tag team titles, just the current version. I actually like these way better than these. Now, I
I'd
know
put
we're
it
gonna make an
under.
argument that these are bad. If these are gonna be bad, then these got to be above it and have to go in mid.
I'd say they're mid. Yeah, it's
Like,
not mid as in a good way. It's mid as in like in contention with the other designs. I don't see it being on that level.
nah. The the black and gold NXT championship. Now, this is the one that the Johnny, Tommaso,
Mm-hmm.
Alistair, and all those
Cole,
guys were holding.
I'm gonna put it under great.
I was gonna put that right up here.
I wouldn't say goaded. I'd say great. Quite
Because
honest.
it's literally, if we're talking about the men's NXT championship, then that's the best version.
It
It is
is
the
the
best
best
version.
version, but I don't see it on the level of that WWE Championship, man.
I was
See it
putting
on
it in
that level.
contention with the North American, but
Yeah, I think the North American is in its own little level.
yeah, it's its own. And it's an own level of goaded for sure.
Yeah.
The NXT UK tag team titles, I actually love these
These are a unique design, I will say. It's a very good design. Obviously, not a lot of people will remember these, but
because they
in
didn't watch
terms of
NXT
design,
UK.
yeah, not a lot of people watch NXT UK. But in terms of this design alone, yeah, I'd say it's great or mid. It's either one of those two categories.
I'm gonna put it in great because, like, I remember at
Yeah,
the time, like when you had the current landscape of the tag team titles, this one was always the best one.
easily.
Especially the matches that you had, because I think you had well, Pretty Deadly hold these titles, which was cool. You had
Mustache Mountain.
Mustache Mountain, um you had Subculture, or that they were in that's in TNA right now. Flash Morgan Webster. They were like some of my favorite tag team champs. And then you had Gallus hold them. Of
Gallus
course,
held
yeah.
them for a hot minute. Yeah,
They really did. I wish they would have gave a period a run if they were gonna have Gunther over there. I wish they would have had
that
them
was what
kind of
I
have a
thought. I
run.
thought they were gonna give them to Imperium, but they didn't.
Nah, they gave it to them once they went to the actual NXT brand
Yeah,
and
they
everything.
gave the actual NXT tag team titles to them.
The next title, the NXT UK Women's Championship.
Mm,
I mean, I love that belt. I
it's a
love
very
that.
good belt. I love that
I'm
belt.
I'm inclined to put it in great.
Yeah, I'd say that too.
Because when we get to these other titles, that if we're kind of categorizing these, it's like how they were for their time period compared to the other designs. So this one was way better than some of the other designs they were getting in the women's division at that time, for
Yeah,
sure. The NXT 2.0 Women's Championship with the white strap still had the same color scheme. Um, I mean, this was mid as well, but it was way better looking than
it
the
fit.
men's
It
because
fit
of the white strap.
more for the women's. It fit more for the women's than the men's.
I would also agree. The color scheme way more for better for the women than it did for the men.
It
So
flowed a lot better.
would you put this in mid or would you put this in great?
I'd put it probably on the same level as the men's. I'd put it in mid.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
The the NXT women's tag team titles.
It
Pretty
was a
much
lot
just
like
like
the
the other one.
men's. It's just a white strap. That's the
They
thing.
really should have kept these titles around though.
They should have, because all the women, especially nowadays in NXT, I feel like they could benefit because whenever we have an NXT team facing a main roster team for the WWE Women's Tag Team
They're
titles,
not gonna win
they're not going to win.
because
So at least you
like
could have gave the women their own.
I'm sorry, like I just don't think if with the main roster having the women's tag team titles, right? I don't see a NXT tag team beating a main roster tag team to win the tag titles. I know it's supposed to be used on
Yeah.
Raw, SmackDown, NXT, but it's really gonna be falling between Raw and SmackDown. NXT is not gonna have one. They're not
Not
gonna win.
unless they want a big match at, like, let's say NXT Halloween Havoc. But you know the main roster team is always going to win, especially when someone like Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are holding them
Even
right
with
now.
the Bookie
The
Warriors
only
were
chance
tag team champions.
the only chance an NXT women's tag team would ever win it is if a tag team like Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell win it, or Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. That's about it.
Yeah,
That's the
they
only
haven't
chance
really
I'll ever
done it
have
with the
winning.
women's. I mean, I feel like they could have kept them around because now you have actual tag teams down there. I know you have Fatal Influence just for a team and stuff like that. So you could honestly have them being your tag team champs. And I know they've been recently teaming up with Core and Roxanne. There's another tag team you could throw in the mix. You have
They could be good tag
Metaphor
team
Or
champs.
of
Stephanie.
you have Metaphor. They're doing their thing with Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. There's another team you could throw in the mix.
Wendy Chu and Rosemary. Yeah.
That's another team I know, and they're also challenging for the TNA World Tag Team titles this week.
Knockouts. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the
Yeah.
one.
TNA Knockouts Tag Team titles at Bound for Glory this week. Um, and then you also have Stephanie Vercour and
Julia.
Julia.
Julia. They've been teaming up, so you have multiple teams that could be in the realm of possibilities for that tag team title. And if you want to bring other teams from the main roster that aren't really doing anything that you want to put in NXT, add more emphasis on the tag team titles as well.
Pure
I wouldn't
Fusion
mind it at all.
Collective.
Pure Fusion Collective, but then it's like you had the titles, and then the last people that held the title was the Unholy Union. They lost to Shayna and Ronda to merge
Yeah,
the titles.
that was sad.
Why did we
That
need
was
to
sad.
merge the titles?
Didn't really need to.
It didn't make no
Honestly,
sense.
and Alba and Isla could have, in my opinion, probably stayed in NXT and kept those titles, but I digress.
I also digress as well. The current WWE Championship or the WWE Undisputed Championship currently held by Cody Rhodes. Looks like a McDonald's championship for me. This is the McDonald's logo for me. It's pretty much your ketchup, your mustard, and just your black. But
Who created this?
yeah, I don't like it. I don't.
A 3-year-old
I
created
mean,
this. Easy.
I'm not a
it's
fan.
grown on me a little bit, but not enough to.
It hasn't grown on me enough to justify this. To be quite
It's
honest.
better in the video game than in real.
Yeah, in the video game it looks
Yeah,
fire.
2K
but
looks good.
2K looks amazing, but yeah, real life.
I never liked it. The next title we're gonna talk about is the Cruiserweight Championship that they
I
held for
love
205 Live. This
I'm
was the
currently
purple.
looking through like all the titles I missed.
How do you feel about this one? I know this was for the Cruiserweight division, but I would have preferred if it was black.
it
It's
was
like
black for a little bit.
Yeah, when they went to
kind of
NXT,
digressed for me. I like as time
it's
went on,
not.
I kind of
I wouldn't
like
say
it
who
less.
created this because it looks better than some of the other titles that we put in
Yeah,
I
there.
wouldn't even say
I'd
mid.
say
I think it
mid.
was great. I thought it was great.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
definitely.
I love
The
that
next
belt.
one.
Okay, the only disagreement I think I have, like, out of the titles I missed, are like the modern world heavyweight looking titles for both men and women. I would probably put that in goated, but that's probably just my personal bias.
I mean, the titles look cool, but like when you compare them to like this title right here, it's not
It
there.
was like no. It was like not a
Uh,
chance.
I don't know. I like them, but
I mean, they
oh
still
well.
look good, looking good titles. Just because they're in
Yeah, they're
red doesn't
still
mean
all
they're
right.
bad. They
Yeah.
still look good, but
Tag titles,
the
branded
Raw,
tag titles.
The branded
next
tag
title.
titles are like bad.
Bad.
The
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do this.
I don't want to put them in who created this because
Okay,
I don't
this is
think
what I'm
they
gonna
were
do. This is what I want to do. The Raw tag team titles with the red and silver, these were bad, right? However,
the blue
these
ones.
the
The blue
blue
ones
ones
were
looked
better.
The
way.
ones were mid.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
put these in mid. The reason
Yeah.
why, because the
Yeah,
blue
I can agree with
silver
that.
way more. The
I
blue
can
ones
understand
covered
that.
silver way more. The title still
Uh,
look bad,
The
but it
copper
looks
one
better.
though. The
This is a
copper
penny
one though.
championship.
okay,
Blue
okay, guys.
created
Okay, okay.
this.
Let me play
Blue
devil's advocate here.
created
This was
this.
the
And I don't. It was
It was a
fucking
penny
terrible.
championship. You
I
combined the world tag team, these two titles that we just put
It was
in the GOAT tier
bronze.
to get that. No.
You get a
I
third place.
mean, I
Third
guess
place.
I'm the only one who like actually had a soft spot for the copper championship.
No.
Fuck the copper championship.
Damn.
I never liked it. No.
Never did either.
I was okay with them, but like honestly, the only team I remember holding those championships were the New Day.
It was
Only team
basically it.
I remember the Shield.
Oh yeah, the
I mean,
Shield.
Shield too, yeah.
The Shield, the Usos,
Shield, New
Usos.
Day,
New
Prime
Age
Time
Outlaws.
Primetime players held it.
Oh yeah, Miz and Mizdow.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Universal.
Oh, Goldust and Stardust.
Oh yeah,
Is that the blue Universal? Yeah.
This is the
Blue
Universal
Universal?
title.
Yeah, this
The
one
blue,
is
just like
bad
we
at
talked about
best.
the tag team titles for the tag team titles for the
I'd
blue.
I'd put it in mid. Yeah.
This will go in mid, and
Red one. Who created this?
I never
Really?
liked it. Yes, because it's
I
like
didn't like
the way
red.
they kind of presented it, right?
Yeah,
Like
I
they
guess
were
I'm the only one
saying
who
the
liked
title looks
red
like
more than blue.
So here's the
I
crazy
like
thing.
the blue easily.
I like the blue and way more, and the red one's supposed to be they build it up as being the eye towards the future title, right? And they bring out a a copy of the WWE Championship, but just red, and it wasn't even made all the way because you know how like the plate said Universal. Check this out. So you know how, like the plate says Universal for the red one, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they first introduced it, they put a sticker that said Universal over it because it was still technically the WWE Championship, but they put a sticker over it.
Yeah.
They didn't have it engraved until like later on in Kevin Owens' run and everything like that. The next title that we're going to talk about is the women's tag team titles. Now, if we're talking about booking, it's going to be who created this, but the design I actually like.
I actually don't mind the design.
The
Actually,
design
pretty
looks
nice.
really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might just
I'd
put
say
these
great.
in great.
Great. Yeah.
Not
Not
goated.
goaded.
No, definitely not goaded.
Not goated. No.
The old WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Nah, I actually like this one.
Yeah, it looks
I remember
decent.
Hurricane Helms holding this title. I think Finley held it. Hornswoggle won it.
Hornswoggle. I would.
Ray.
Mm,
I think Eddie held this title too.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Chavo.
Chavo. I remember Chavo.
I'm like torn between great and mid.
Because
Yeah, I'd put it mid.
Okay, here's the discussion. Is this title that we put in great, the purple and silver, better than this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. The European title.
I loved this one.
I like this one. I really like this one.
I think Kurt Angle held this title and Mark Henry too.
Shawn Michaels.
And then D'Lo, I think, held it.
William Regal.
I'd say great.
I'd put it in great too.
Yeah, I actually love this title.
I love this one.
The hardcore title.
All right.
I'd probably put it in great.
Yeah, I actually love the
title.
title.
I really like the hardcore title, yeah.
The next one.
All right, Big Gold has to go and goaded.
It has to go and goaded by default. It is the definite.
Or putting modern day like great, then yeah, there's no question that this is
the white strap Intercontinental Championship. This got to go.
Goated. Easy go.
The NXT UK Championship.
Goated.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, Pete
I
Dunne
mean, it
held
was
it.
at minimum great
Held it.
because we put the
Ilya held
women's,
it.
and I
Yeah,
argue that
but
the
I
men's
like
one
the
is better.
black a lot better than the white.
Yeah, it complements.
Complements the gold a lot more, and that's the undisputed WWE title from
Yes, the
SmackDown.
one that The Rock was
Yeah.
holding and
I would
Brock was holding.
honestly say goaded too.
Yeah,
I
it was like
honestly
one of
say
the
goaded
better
too.
WWE. It was one of the better WWE championships that they actually
I
created, in my
guess,
personal
yeah.
opinion. The current
Modern
world
US.
championship.
I'd say
Mm,
great.
great, yeah, me too. And then
And
the
then
OG
I
this
gotta
goaded.
one
that.
is goaded.
I actually like this one.
I love the flag. It's my favorite belt of all time. If it's not in goaded,
Some people
then
people
no
say
flag.
that the current one is way better, but I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing, but that title looked way better and it had way more like designs to it.
It had way more to
Yeah.
offer.
I mean, the current one is still really good.
And I
So
know this one that they put more emphasis in having the curve, which is cool. But eh, the Raw Women's Championship. Sorry, I did not want this.
Yeah, it was not good.
The Raw titles were trash.
Raw
It's
title
crazy that it's
sucked.
crazy. It's crazy. We put the Universal and the WWE Women's Championship for Raw, and who created this? But the tag team titles got put in bad. So we're
And then
saying the
the
tag team titles,
SmackDown belts are in mid and bad.
and even the tag team title for Raw was way better than these.
Yeah, that's because of the
That's saying
silver.
then the OG women's title.
yeah.
I'd put it in
Maybe
mid or
I put it in
bad.
great.
Really?
I would put
I
it
say
in mid.
mid.
I
Yeah,
would
I think it's
personally.
fine.
I put it in mid
Yeah,
I
mid.
think
I'd
that's
say that.
fine,
because
especially
it looks
for
just like the cruiserweight, but just looks a little bit bigger,
Yeah.
and it had the same color
um.
scheme going.
All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for
the
this one
piss
because
women's championship.
I'm gonna say bad just because I
Yeah.
think the women's one is better than the men's one.
Yeah, because of the white.
Like the white is a better look for it than the black.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
WWE
this might
Championship.
be a bit of a hot take.
I
Yeah,
actually like
great.
I'd
the
say
simple.
goated.
It was simple, but it worked.
Goaded, I wouldn't agree. At least great, yeah.
Like
Yeah, I just can't
I don't
put
know. It just feels iconic to me. I feel like it's a great
I just can't
WWE.
put the WWE Championship on the same likes of like the big gold and the
Or the
undisputed and the white
undisputed, yeah.
IC. I can't do that.
I,
I can't
I
do that.
wouldn't. I wouldn't want that
I mean,
touching
yeah,
those
I
OG
do think it's
belts.
at minimum great because like anywhere else would be just disrespectful.
Yeah,
It's
but
very good title, very good title. I think.
so that pretty much concludes our tier list portion because we're about to transition into WrestleMania 41 predictions. It's going to be night one and night two. So we're going to have matches that we do think are going to take place. Now, this is a disclaimer. Everybody's card might be different in some way, shape, or form, but that is
Yes.
okay. So we're going to finish this. We're going to get rid of this screen here and get back to this screen here. So, yeah, WrestleMania 40 is a couple months away, taking place from Vegas. I think tickets just went on sale, and they're ridiculous because apparently
Those fucking prices.
it's $400 to $700 just to sit nosebleeds at a
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
No thanks.
No, thank you. I'm good. I can keep the $700 or whatever, and I can go to All In because I'm planning to go to All In next year. So
I
I'm
can
just
spend $40 to go to Bound for Glory Saturday.
and we were telling him that last night. Well, that we were telling him that
I
he
want
shouldn't
to
go.
go, but I don't think I'm gonna be allowed to go, especially since
TNA is going to be a huge show. I feel like you got
Yeah,
the call your shot.
TNA. That
Wanna
Bound for
go,
Glory
yeah.
is looking great.
You got the call your shot. You got a triple threat tag team title match and a ladder match.
Yeah, let's see
You
that
know
become
the Hardy Boys are
word.
going to try to kill themselves, especially Jeff Hardy. But that's on a different discussion.
Oh,
But
20
we're gonna go.
person.
So we're gonna be doing night one and night two. The total we're gonna have 14 matches total. So it's gonna be 7 for night one and 7 for night two. So we're gonna go around and we're gonna give our predictions of what match we're gonna think is gonna start the show and everything like that. So we're pretty much like, Willie, you'll give your opening match, then Wolf, you'll give your opening match, and then it'll come back to me, and so on and so forth until we finish the entire card. So, Willie, what is your first match for night one to open your WrestleMania 41 show?
Um, my first match is going to be for the WWE Women's World Championship, and it'll be a triple threat match between Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Raquel Rodriguez.
Wow, now that's a good one. I actually like that.
I think
So,
Raquel is going
okay,
to turn at some point on Liv. I
so
think,
the dynamic, that's the only thing that I'm gonna ask you. So the
yeah,
dynamic. So is she still in the Judgment Day around this time period that you're seeing this happening, or is pretty much she getting kicked out, on the verge of getting kicked out of the
Raquel is
Judgment
going
Day?
to turn on Liv.
So
She's gonna want that belt for herself.
so is do you are any of these women your prediction to win the World Rumble if you're gonna set this up, or is that another person?
Uh, at this rate, Raquel is my pick to win the Royal Rumble,
I actually like that.
and Rhea is going to insert her way somehow. Probably beat Liv Morgan in a non-title match
I actually thought
and
about that too,
get
because I
herself
actually
in.
thought like, because I don't, and me and Wolf were just talking about this. I don't know if it's just me personally, but I don't think Rhea should be the one to dethrone Liv Morgan. I really don't.
I
Yeah.
think
I think it
Raquel
should.
should. I think
I think
Raquel
it should be
should.
someone else. I think it really should be someone else, and then you can kind of have that story where she gets a rematch and maybe loses, and you can transfer. I don't know if you would put the Judgment Day on SmackDown just because the Bloodline's there,
No,
but I think
keep them on Raw.
Judgment Day are probably gonna forever be on Raw. I don't ever see the landscape changing to where they go to SmackDown. I don't, because then they're gonna get second fiddle to the Bloodline. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
your opening match for the Women's World Championship, Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Rhea. I
Yes.
actually like that. I think maybe if you have Raquel, maybe win the Rumble or something like that, you could create that dynamic. Maybe who she chooses or something like that, and then maybe pretty much like you said, Rhea would have to beat Liv Morgan, and she does, and that she gets added. So I can see that happening. So
Yeah.
Wolf, what will be your opening match for your night one show for WrestleMania?
I think I'm gonna go with a different title match that I think um, is a very safe opener. They've been using this certain title to open a lot lately. And it's gonna be a little premature for me to do this. I'm gonna say Carmelo Hayes versus hold. Sorry, I'm looking real quick through
Okay, no problem. No problem.
certain brands.
Because I actually have three women's matches that's going to be taking place throughout night one and night two, but we'll get to those later
Right, hold
on.
on.
I already have my second match set.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Me thinking of cards, it's just like
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
not the hardest for me, but
it's always easy.
I'm gonna do something probably a little crazy.
Whoa.
Carmelo
Okay.
Hayes versus wait, I just saw him. What the hell?
I'm intrigued to see what he's going to say for his first match.
Yeah, me too.
I completely lost it. What the hell? Yeah, okay. Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin for the United States.
Wow.
I would actually love that.
Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin kind of playing off their history in NXT.
I would
Okay.
actually love that.
It gives something
I was
still
like
to do.
tempted to say AJ, but I don't know if AJ is gonna be back by Mania.
My
If he is, then Carmelo versus AJ for the United
Yeah.
States.
I actually have the U.S. Championship opening my card as well, but in a multi-man ladder match for the
Yeah.
U.S. Championship.
Oh, I have the
I
same
have
thing.
LA Knight going in as your champion,
Mm-hmm.
defending the title in the ladder match, like I said, against Grayson Waller,
Damn.
Carmelo Hayes, the prize fighter Kevin Owens, Mr. A Town Down Austin Theory, Andrade, the phenomenal AJ Styles, and the currently debuted Ricky Starks.
Damn. Okay. He'd be like the
Yeah, pretty
Joker
much be
technically in
the
that match. Like you're gonna
you
have him
said what?
debut that night,
I think yes. Have him debut on the biggest
like a
show
Joker.
possible,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then maybe somebody else could probably be in the match, but gets taken out the last minute, and they,
Mm-hmm.
Nick Aldis says, "Well, there is somebody else that's showing up, and you'll find out who that is come WrestleMania."
Yeah. I could see that.
So
100%.
that's
My
my first match. But on to your second match for night one.
my
What is your match?
second match is for the WWE World Tag Team Championships. I got Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee coming in as champions, and they are going to take on the Authors of Pain.
Actually, okay, okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at
Mhm.
that. Um, okay, okay. I actually wouldn't mind seeing the match. I wouldn't mind seeing the match. Okay, Wolf. What is your second match that you're gonna go with for night one?
I'm gonna keep it simple. Uh, I I mean, they haven't really done too much to like start teasing it more, but I do think it will probably happen at WrestleMania. I will say Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller,
In a one-on-one
Ooh,
match.
one on
I mean,
one.
no
that'd be
discredit to Austin
fire.
Theory. It's just they have to really build that up to the point people can actually care to put that on
Yeah,
WrestleMania. Because right now they're just kind of just dragging it along, and I don't think people really want to see that happen. But that's neither here or there. But I would mind it. I mean, they've been trying to build up both guys, even in a tag team, but as singles competitors as well. So that's just how I see it. But my second match that I have going on for WrestleMania, my night one, Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair. I think the WWE
Yeah.
is bound to pull the trigger on that feud at some point, and I think people been it's easy to say this match is going to be on WrestleMania. It doesn't need to be for a title. Honestly, I have Bianca being the one to turn heel. I think most people would expect maybe Jade just because of her stint in AEW where she was a heel, so people know that she can be a heel. But people tend to sleep on Bianca as being a heel as well, especially the work that she was able to put in as a heel back in her NXT days, which was some of her best work that she has been able to produce in WWE as a whole. So
Mm-hmm.
why not revisit that part of her character and just be just arrogant again and stuff like that. So why not have those two go at it at WrestleMania? But Willie, back to you for your third match for WrestleMania on
I
night one.
also have a United States Championship ladder match. It'll
Okay,
be Carmelo Hayes coming in as the champion. He'll
okay,
take on Andrade, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, LA Knight, Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and Grayson Waller.
okay. You see, I have Logan Paul in my plans, but we'll talk about that later on. Um, Wolf, what is your third match that you're gonna go with for night one of WrestleMania?
Hmm. I think honestly, I really do like the idea that you said, Leo. So I will also say Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill.
Okay, yeah, I think that one's kind of one of the ones that I feel like most likely will happen and everything like that. But we'll see how that goes. The next match that we're going to be talking about for me on my end, which is my third match for the women's tag team titles, we have we have Pure Fusion Collective actually going in as the tag team champions,
Mm.
defending the titles against the Kabuki Warriors, Unholy Union, and Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. I think
Oh,
Lyra and Becky had some unfinished business. I think with them having a history of potentially being friends and have earned each other's respect, I think Becky could be coming back and you could have those two form and actually go after um Pure Fusion Collective, because that feud is kind of still ongoing with Pure Fusion Collective going against, Lyra and the life of the party as well and stuff like that. So maybe you have Becky come back, then you kind of redo that feud. And maybe I think if anybody's gonna take the titles from Jade and Bianca, right now, it's probably gonna be a heel team. And what better, bigger heel team is there right now than Pure Fusion Collective? So I give them the tag titles going into WrestleMania, and you can kind of
fair.
kickstart the Bianca and Jade feud going into WrestleMania as well. So you kind of get away with that, and then kind of start that two different feuds and everything like that. But Willie, back to you for your fourth match for night one.
Well, WrestleMania will be this man's last. So I feel like his last opponent should be a good competitor. I got John Cena 1-on-1 with Gunther.
Okay. I do not mind that. I really don't mind that. Just because I think that match that they could actually put on could really be good. So why not actually have those two face off for the title and everything like that?
Oh,
But
I need to preface that it's not for the title.
so it's non-title.
It's a non-title, one-on-one dream match.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm definitely interested to see what you have to say for the world title now, if that's gonna be the case. Um, but let's go to Wolf. What is your fourth match that you're gonna go with
All
for?
right. So this fourth match, I decided just recently. I actually think it would really make sense. Um, and it involves someone I actually considered to win the Rumble.
Okay, so this is
I
one of your title matches, but
it's
involving.
not actually, no. I completely am just ignoring. I'm now giving him a match he has already had several times, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's gonna keep happening forever. I do have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Mm,
Those two are bound to fight forever.
Yeah.
that's gonna
I would
hurt the
love to see those
soul.
two fight at Mania again, but I wish that it would be for a title this time because they've never fought for a title like one on one outside of NXT. Even though their feud's been definitely continuing and everything, but
Yep.
for sure, I would love to see those two go at it one more time. So, my next match that I'm gonna go with to put on the show involves Logan Paul. I say we're doing Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny. Two of the very best celebrities turned wrestlers that we have had in a long time. I mean, in a long time. And you can have the feud be who's the better, celebrity turned wrestler. Is it Logan Paul? Is it Bad Bunny? I mean, Bad Bunny is no sleeper. I mean, look at the match that he was able to have in his first match at WrestleMania when he teamed up with Damian Priest against Miz and Morrison. Great showing for him. Then having his one-on-one match with Damian Priest last year at Backlash. That match was really good. So and we know, even though we talk about Logan Paul all the time, even though it's not in a good way, but when it comes to the wrestling aspect, he is one of the very best to ever do it. So I will say that why not putting him in the conversation for that title? So, and everything like that. But hey, on to the fifth match. We have Willie, who is your fifth match for night one.
I'm going to go 3 for 3 on this match prediction. Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair.
Easily, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Wolf. Your fifth match.
My fifth match, I will say, probably doesn't necessarily need to happen, but I'm thinking it might actually. I just realized other matches that'll happen. Okay, okay. I had one thing in mind, but I'm moving it to night two. Um, I will say for the World Tag Team Champions, I will say Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee as the champions going up against I hold on, I'm looking through Raw's roster.
It's not the best.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, I need to like differentiate who's heels and faces, who's tag teams. I
That
would
reminded me,
say,
I have to do my tag team next then for my fifth. Yeah,
oh,
definitely
now I'm
do.
torn between like two people, two teams rather. You know what? I would really love to see um them get continued pushed more. So I will say the War Raiders.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
My
So
alternate my other idea was Dominic and JD.
Yeah.
for my fifth match for the World Tag Team titles, I have LWO on one side, and I also have um, the War Raiders. I think
Okay.
I, I have those two teams going at it. I think those two can actually maybe create some decent matches for sure. But yeah, that's my fifth match. It's not really too much, but hey. On to your sixth match, which means this will be your co-main event for night one. So
I
Willie, what is your night
I
one co-main event?
got Sami Zayn versus Uncle Howdy.
Oh,
Wow.
that's really good.
He
That
did
is
not forget
surprising.
Sammy betraying the bloodline. It's like, wait, you wanna rekindle things? Hey man, I don't forget. You caused
I
this
wouldn't.
breakdown,
I can see
Wow.
that.
betraying your family. Uncle Howdy don't like it.
Yeah, definitely not. Um. All right, Wolf. What is your co-main event for?
This I think is a really big match. Um, oh damn, now I'm realizing that. Okay, yeah, I once again I'm just loose like all over the place. Okay, I will say a co-main event for the. Oh, hold on. Actually, I want to think about this real quick. Yeah. For the world heavyweight title, uh, I will say Gunther versus um, John Cena.
Hmm.
That's a good one.
Have John Cena, but not on night one. But we'll get to him very shortly. So my co-main events, we have Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. We have Tiffany Stratton coming in as champion. Um, I think she's bound to cash in at some point. And I can see it happen at Survivor Series if, like me and Wolf were talking about earlier, if they do end up doing Nia and Charlotte at Survivor Series, have Tiffy cash in on a Charlotte and make it a triple threat and then pin Charlotte. I think that'll be really, really huge. And you can turn her into even bigger star because I think people want to see her turn to be a babyface at some point. So why not do that? But that is my co-main event for night one. Now
I
we're getting
just
into the
realized something. Just looking,
what's
thinking
that?
through like everything. I just realized I like have someone that like basically needs to be at WrestleMania and is not um
Hmm.
like in my mind because I didn't think of him just because I thought things would be easier. So I want to talk about my US title match. Um I'm just gonna say Carmelo versus Randy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good
I
one.
got
Yeah.
I got Randy in my plans, but somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
Um,
just gonna say Carmelo.
all right. So we're getting into the main event of night one.
main event of night
So really,
one
what will be closing night one for you? Your main event of the evening.
for the World Heavyweight Championship. I got
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk walking in as champion. He will take on Seth freaking Rollins.
I have that match, but non-title, and it's taking place on night two for me.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think that's a good match. Those two are bound to cross paths. I think sooner rather than later. Probably by the
Yeah.
end of this year, we're probably gonna kickstart that feud heading to WrestleMania for sure. Um, but yeah, Wolf, what is your night one main event?
So I have this little gripe thing about um I there's this certain way regarding WrestleMania that I think it should happen that doesn't get booked as such, but in my opinion, I feel like the winners of the Rumble should be main eventing of each Rumble. Should be main event
Yeah,
guaranteed
I mean,
because they basically like have like stated like, oh, they'll main event WrestleMania, and then like they don't. Usually the women are the ones that don't main event. So I will say for the WWE Women's Championship with Tiffany Stratton walking in, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair.
as your
Mm.
main
Main event.
event, it's
Night
Main
one.
crazy.
event.
Yeah.
What a match.
Especially since like given how much Tiffany and like has is like how high regard they have for Tiffany. They clearly have for Tiffany. How high regard we already know they have for Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
I definitely think this is something that should absolutely happen. And should main event WrestleMania. Even though I don't want Charlotte to win the Rumble, but I personally can't see Liv or whoever is women's world champion as main eventing. I don't know. That's just me. Yeah, especially since I have plans for.
Okay. And well, you did pick your main event for the evening as well as
Yeah,
already.
So
it was the
I
Punk
said
Rumble.
Rumble winners should main event, but I'm not having the women's Rumble winner main event just because.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's your main event, Charlotte versus Tiffy for the main event
yeah,
of night one.
of
Okay.
not.
My night one main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther walking in as champion to defend the title against the 2024 Royal Rumble winner, main event Jay Uso. Jay Uso wins the Rumble. He goes on to compete for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of night one. Those two have great chemistry if we go back to their battles over the IC title. And I mean, I just think it's bound to happen. I feel like people looked at the IC title and I feel like it was bound to happen. I think you can't just call a main event Jey Uso not give him the world title at some point. It's just for the simple fact that he gets some of the biggest reactions in WWE. Period. So I think they would
Yeah.
take that into account in his merch sales as well. Like I think have these two have like a 20 to 25-minute classic, and I think they can give you a good match to close the show, and have that visual of Jey Uso pinning Gunther, become your new world heavyweight champion. Eh, I mean, why not?
Hmm.
And then you can have like Roman come out and embrace him at the end of the show. You have Jimmy come out and embrace him, as it is a big heartfelt moment for him. He won the Rumble and now is champion. So I think why not? but we're closing night one to open night two. So, Willie, what is your first match that you have taking place on night two of WrestleMania 41?
Well, it involves your Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso.
Let
I
me
have him
guess, tag team.
reuniting with his brother Jimmy, walking in as WWE Tag Team Champions to take on the Gorillas of Destiny, Tamatonga and Tangaloa.
Okay. Wolf, what is your first match to take place on night one?
So I also have um the WWE Tag Team Championships on the line as the opener. However, I will say Motor City Machine Guns walking in as champions versus uh hold on, let me make sure I got the right team here real quick. I think it's DIY. Yeah, it's probably gonna be DIY.
Okay. So, my first match for the Intercontinental Championship, we have Braun Breaker defending against the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion, John Cena. John Cena, the
Oh,
one title that he has never held, and they already kind of start to plant the seeds for this as well, because as soon as he won it during his first run, Braun Breaker did go on record and state, and he called out John Cena and he says, "This is the one title you never held, and I'm holding it. Come get me. Come take it from me." So I think we play that story up in the lead up to WrestleMania. He can finally go after the one title he's never held, and he can probably win that title at Mania, which will be a great deal for him. So why not start the night two off in a big way, as for sure. So John Cena and Braun Breaker to kick off night two. But Willie, what is your second match that you have taking place on night two of WrestleMania?
I have also for the WWE Women's Championship, I have Tiffany Stratton walking in against Charlotte Flair.
Okay, Wolf, what do you have as your second match?
Um, I'm thinking here. Uh, I'm gonna say for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, we have Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson walking in as champions uh, against. Hold on, let me make sure I got this correctly. Um, sorry, I'm
You're good. You're no problem.
real quick. I'm looking. Uh, let's just say yeah, Lyra and Becky.
Okay. All right. My second match for night two that I am going to be going with is father versus son, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, hair versus career. I think those two are bound to clash. I think it makes it even more funnier just for the simple fact that Dominic's mullet is at stake of being cut off. Like, could you imagine WWE just cutting off those beautiful locks of his? Like, no, don't do that. I think Rey Mysterio has pretty much done everything that there is to do in the company. I think why not just hang up the boots and then like kind of pass the torch to Dominic and everything like that. So I'm gonna have that as my second match um for night two. Willie, what is your third match for night two?
It's the match that has been teased a little bit. I'm going to say Kofi Kingston one on one with Xavier Woods.
I could see that.
We'll see.
Okay. It's crazy. Wolf had Austin Theory and Grace, and you have Kofi and Xavier. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right, Wolf, what is your third match that you're gonna be going with?
So there was a certain matchup that I thought they would probably drag out the feud a little, kind of, or like revisit the feud uh, come Mania season. So originally I was going to say Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Then
Okay.
probably like the third match between them. Um,
I can see them probably pushing that feud probably to
but
Mania.
I had a very more interesting idea.
Okay, for your
I'm
third
gonna
match.
say Finn Balor versus Uncle Howdy.
Is it? Are we talking about regular Finn Balor or Demon Finn Balor?
Regular. I don't think he'll want to bring back the demon.
Because I was about to say, if this is the Demon versus Uncle Howdy, oh my god.
That would be fire, but yeah, I think
The
regular Finn would be better.
I feel like it'd be more likely for Demon Finn Balor to face Priest if they did Priest versus Balor, but I don't think Balor will want to bring back the Demon.
So,
No.
the my third match for WrestleMania is a not Chicago street fight,
Las
a
Vegas.
Las Vegas street fight. We have Drew McIntyre versus not Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona in a Las Vegas street fight. I think the story of both guys leaving the company, building themselves up, and for Drew to come back better than he was, and we still are still going to possibly be getting Matt Cardona back at some point, who's been on the run of his career since leaving the WWE. And now I think right now the story could be like, who's the better one? Drew, it might feel some type of way that he feels like these guys are leaving the company and coming back and stealing his spotlight, when in reality he did the same thing. So he's still playing that character. What he thinks he's doing is right and justified. And I think having Matt Cardona come back as a different character, but not really like a heel or a face, but just having more of like a face with an edge to him, where he's just not taking anything from anybody, and let these two go at it. I mean, Matt Cardona likes to call himself the Death Match King, so this is right up his alley, having a street fight. So have these two go at it. So
All right.
that is my third match. So your fourth match for night 2 of WrestleMania.
For the Intercontinental Championship, I have Braun Breaker defending against Drew McIntyre. Braun Breaker babyface, Drew McIntyre the heel.
I can see that, because it looked like they want to turn Braun Breaker heel too. I mean face. So
Well, maybe when they get towards Netflix, they'll solidify him as a babyface to be like the face of Monday Night Raw.
I could see that. Wolf, what is your fourth match?
Oh, I had like a couple ideas in mind. I had a really wacky idea for so I'm gonna say women's world championship match, Liv Morgan as the champion.
Okay.
Do I be biased or do I go with
I mean, go with it. It's just what we think is gonna happen. It's not confirmed that some of these matches are gonna even happen. It's just us having fun with it, I guess. You know.
I wanna throw a curveball. I wanna say Liv Morgan walking in as champ against newly signed WWE superstar Jordan Grace.
Ooh,
Oh,
that'd
you
be
trying to
a
get
good one.
you trying to get Liv Morgan killed on WrestleMania.
Hell yeah.
Her first singles matches at WrestleMania is her last, because she's about to get killed.
And I'll throw even extra curveball for you.
What is it?
Jordan Grace wins the Rumble.
Oh,
I'd be down for that
It's
100%.
crazy. I have Jordan Grace in my plans as well on Mania. but we'll get to that in just a sec.
I was
Matter of
gonna
fact, you
say
know what?
Liv versus Alexa, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if that'll happen though.
So the next match, well, not we're gonna be talking for me, is for the WWE Tag Team titles on SmackDown. We have Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY versus the Street Profits in a triple threat match for the WWE Tag Team titles. Motor City walking in as your tag team champions. But
Nice.
yeah, so Willie, what is your fifth match that you have taking place on
Uh,
WrestleMania?
for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, I have Damage Control walking in as champs against Pure Fusion Collective, Life of the Party, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven.
Okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Okay, Wolf, what is your fifth match?
Oh, I just realized I'm.
I still have to do the women's, and then I have three others, but I'm trying to see what I can do. A matter of fact, we'll add one more match, and we'll just make it 8.
Oh,
We'll just make
great. I can do
Damn,
instead of making it
I
14, we can
realized
just get
I'm
one extra
missing.
match, so it'll be 8 and 8. So
Oh, 8 and 8. Okay, that actually helps me a lot. I
just
will say,
cause it gives you a
yeah,
little leeway.
I will say, for the Intercontinental Championship, uh, Braun Breaker, walking in as champ, defends against. I'm thinking real quick, real long and hard. This. Sheamus.
Ooh, yeah. I completely
For
forgot
the
about the
Intercontinental title,
Irishman.
Although it actually, now that I think about it,
That's a good one.
probably gonna happen earlier, but I don't know who else could. Unless Ilya makes a miracle recovery, then I would probably say Ilya. But
That would have been
don't
who I
think
would have said if he didn't get injured. But I put Drew in there.
yeah, I can see them doing that just because I think Ilya's going to be out for quite some
actually,
time.
now that no, I got a better choice. Braun Breaker versus Damian Priest.
Mm.
Because I'm pretty sure the IC title is the only title Damian hasn't held.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, IC is the only one he hasn't held yet.
Yeah. Well, I'd say Braun versus Damian. Why not?
Okay. So my next match is a first. We are going to be introducing the new women's mid-card title, the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and it will be
Ooh.
defended and it will be crowned in a battle royal. It'll a battle royal because I know battle royal has been a staple of WrestleMania. I know the men have had it before with the Under the Giant. This can be the equivalent to that, and you can have multiple wrestlers be involved in this. Jordan Grace will be part of this. Bailey will be part of this. You have superstars from NXT, SmackDown, and Raw be part of this as well. And I think this would be a great way to get a lot of the women on the card that aren't really doing much, but have them do something and have something to fight for on top of that. So that will be the next match that I will be talking about. But Willie, what is your sixth match happening on WrestleMania?
I got an idea Wolf had that he threw out. I am going to say Damian Priest versus the Demon Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell.
You said Priest and
Priest
Balor.
and Balor, Demon Balor.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for a second you said Balor the Demon and Uncle Howdy in Hell in a Cell because oh my god.
No, I'm still
Those
doing
two.
Uncle Howdy and Sami Zayn.
All right, I got you. So, Wolf, you turn up next. Who is your sixth?
I am going to say I realized I did not have this match until now, but thank God we got an extra match because I definitely need this. On the card, I will say uh, the Usos versus Gorillas of Destiny. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't say them.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
that'd be a fire
My
match.
sixth match. I don't think I've done the women's, so we're gonna do the women's here. We're gonna do Liv Morgan going in as the champion, defending in a fatal four-way at
Mm,
WrestleMania against Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, and Io Sky in a
okay.
fatal four-way. Elimination style.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
So I think that's gonna happen. I think the final two will come down to Liv and Io as your final
Live in
two.
EO.
I think those two can really put on a great match, man. I really do. Because I was either
Yeah.
going to go with Liv and Io, or you have Liv and Raquel be the final two. Because then it's like, Liv,
Then
let's
it's
give it
like,
to
what are they
Raquel.
gonna do? Yeah.
Lay down for me.
All
And
right.
then
So
Raquel is still in the match. She's eliminated, but she's still on the outside. And in a screwy fashion, like only Liv Morgan does, Io loses, but it sets up a rematch for the next pay per view. But Liv barely escapes away with the title at Mania.
okay.
So
So for
you're
my co-main event for the undisputed WWE Championship, I have Cody Rhodes defending against the Men's Royal Rumble winner, Randy Orton.
Wow.
That's a good one. That is a good one. That is a really good one. All right, Wolf. What is your co-main event?
I do have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
I'm also gonna
Non-title or
need
for the title?
No title.
Oh yeah, that's right.
my co-main event in a Hell in a Cell match. CM Punk going back at it again versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Wow, we're
And there's a
getting
stake to there's
Hell
a
in a
caveat to this because now with Jey Uso becoming the champion on night one, this is a caveat. Whoever not only is this a Hell in a Cell match, whoever wins this gets the number one contender for the world championship at Backlash.
I like that.
I think you have those two go at it in a brutal fashion, but I think this is going to be the first of many encounters in
You
a
know,
true
I have
heel fashion.
another idea. I have an idea for my CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. A bit of a stipulation. It kind of is blatantly obvious. It kind of like tells who would win. In that sense. But I am gonna say, for the stipulation, if CM Punk loses, he's forced to retire.
Mm,
But that's a good one.
that's a
And in
good.
a true
That's a
heel
good
fashion,
stipulation.
during their match, Seth
Yep.
Rollins, low blow, and then with the curb stop numerous times, and he pulls out a trick from the past that's put out Dean Ambrose for a month. He brings out the cinder blocks and plants Punk with the final curb stomp for the one, the two, and the three. And he's going on to Backlash for the World Championship. So we'll be seeing Jey Uso versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Actually, I just realized I had like probably an easier stipulation just to make it more unpredictable. I'd say instead of like forcing Punk to retire if he loses, the loser of CM Punk versus Seth Rollins leaves Raw.
That's a good
Mm,
one.
yeah.
Now I'm trying to see what I'm going to do for my main event because there's 2 matches that I want to do.
For
Anyway,
my main event, It's the obvious one, guys.
Wait, we still have
Tribal
an extra
comp.
match. This is 7.
How many
Didn't
did
we
I have?
an
1,
eight?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm on my 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So for my main event, it's going to be tribal combat for the role of tribal chief and the head of the table. Roman Reigns versus the final boss, The Rock.
Okay. Wolf, what is your
Yeah.
main event?
Mm, we'll
What
give
is your
him a
main event
second.
for night 1 or night 2? I would say.
All right.
Yeah,
My bad.
night 2 main event.
So for my main event, I am gonna do for the undisputed WWE Championship. We have uh walking in as champ Cody Rhodes against The Rock against Roman Reigns.
Triple
So
threat.
triple threat.
Triple threat for the
I'm
WWE.
about to do one better. My main event for night 2, the combination of many stories involved. You're putting 2 stories kind of in one, but they're all intertwined. A fatal 4-way for the WWE Undisputed Championship. We have Cody Rhodes going in as the champion, defending against Roman Reigns, the final boss, The Rock, and the Viper, Randy Orton.
Wow.
I think Randy, he gets added to this match because he pins Cody Rhodes to get added. And plus, there's no love lost between him and the bloodline. And we can get the stare off between the Randy Orton and The Rock. I think that would be so cool because I think we haven't seen that visual in so long. And then you can have that visual to where it looks like Randy could be on the verge of winning. But to close the show, Randy loses. He's the one that gets pinned. And he turns heel and reverts back to being the sadistic man of old in 2008. And Punk kicks him to end WrestleMania.
Hmm.
You know what? I just realized I wanna kind of I like what Leo's thinking. I wanna kind of raise that. I wanna change my main event also to a fatal 4-way, which will also include all 3 men I mentioned before. But instead of Leo saying where Leo said Randy, I will add the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu.
Oh, I like that. I
And
like that.
ending WrestleMania, your new undisputed WWE champion, Jacob Fatu.
Oh, the true new
It would
tribal
be
chief.
great. It would go crazy. Just curveball everyone. Just be like, what? Just have Jacob slaughter everyone.
Yeah. Murder.
I
Straight
think
murder.
if I was to able to add one more match on it, it would have been Finn Balor versus Uncle Howdy in a Hell in a Cell match. That would have been my extra match if I was able to have that extra match.
For night 1, I think like the only other match I could have possibly added was like, probably a women's match.
Yeah, I probably would have added a women's match if I had one more, like Nia
Yeah,
Jax versus Becky Lynch or something like that. Or, but we've seen that so many times.
yeah, we sure
So
did. We literally seen that earlier this year.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
because I want to book her, and I guess I'm biased. I'd say Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss because why not?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, run that back.
Yeah, I mean, she was making fun of her. I mean, that's the only time people saw Nia Jackson's face when Alexa was bullying
Hey,
her.
don't make fun of me.
Yeah. But that is the end of our episode, you guys. We pretty much went through the titles. We also went through our WrestleMania 41 predictions. More content will be on the way because we will be doing Crown Jewel predictions next week. We'll try to do it this weekend or probably going into next week for sure. So stay on the lookout for that. Um, if there's anything else you guys want to plug before we head out for tonight? Also catch me for the rest of this week because tomorrow I will be with the Flex Zone. We will be streaming SmackDown. I also got the confirmation that we will be streaming TNA Bound for Glory this Saturday as
Mm.
well. So be on the lookout for that stream as well. And we will cap it off this Sunday because we'll also be doing NXT Halloween Havoc as well. So we will be streaming all three shows throughout this weekend from SmackDown, TNA, and NXT. So you guys do not want to miss it. I think Wolf, you said you were going to probably get join me for Bound for Glory and NXT as well. So definitely we're
Probably.
going to be doing a lot of content this weekend, and then we still got Crown Jewel next week, and then we still have other shows to cap off the rest of the year. We still have Survivor Series, Worlds in for AEW. Um, Saturday Night Main Event, which they're trying to make a pay per view like card.
Yeah.
Um, so that's gonna be another show that they're doing, and then we still have Full Gear and Survivor Series and all that, like we said. But there's a lot of little stuff left to happen in WWE for the rest of the year, so you guys do not want to miss it. Subscribe to Willie, subscribe to myself, Wolf, all of us. More content will be on the way. We're gonna try to do some more content in the near future, so stay tuned. On the road to 50 subscribers, but that's the goal we're trying to get. Can we get 50 subscribers by the end of this year? I think we can. But with that being said, from Willie, from Wolf, myself. Hope you guys have a great evening. Too sweet. And we are out of here.